Hello. Now today I'm with Nick Taylor, Scarborough's investment manager. Hello, Nick.
Hello, Martin. Nice to see you.
Now, your career in Scarborough spans over a number of years. Let's go back to 1993, which was a very special year for me. It was the year that the Holbeck Hall Hotel came crashing down into the sea. And it was at that time when I first met you as manager of the Crown, now the Crown Spa Hotel on the South Bay Esplanade. How long were you at the Crown for, and what special memories do you have of your time there?
Thank you, Martin. Yes, nice to meet you again. And, well, the Crown Hotel is a lovely property. And I have to say, I started there in 1986. I moved across here from Harrogate, and I ran the place for 10 years. It was a very, very interesting time, and 1993 was a super year. It was lovely to meet you guys as proverbial refugees from the Holbeck Hall Hotel, but we also had some great people through the door, and it was a very, very interesting time in the hotel industry for many of us. It was, if you like, the last few years of gentleman hotel keeping. It was a delightful period, but we were very fortunate. We had some fantastic guests, and the Crown Hotel was sort of at the top end of what was being attracting people into Scarborough at the time. And Scarborough was doing very well in those days. It was, if you like, the closing, if you like, of the summer season. We had Cilla Black stayed with us. Michael Barrymore was stayed with us for a summer season. Whole range of folk from the world of show business used the place a great deal. The Crankies, bless them, we saw a great deal of them. The Bobby Davros of the world. So we had all sorts of show business people through the door too. And it was a very, very interesting and exciting time. A lot of that no longer happens to the same extent. You know, you don't get Cilla Black doing a 6-week summer season any longer, sadly. The world has changed a great deal, as we all know. But we saw a lot of the sort of closing elements of much of that, and it was a great, great time to have been involved in it.
Right, now you left the Crown in 1996, so tell us a bit about what happened then.
Well, after the Crown Hotel, I went into business with some other people and went into business, put some money into business myself. And a whole crowd, 9 of us rather, bought 2 hotels. One in Chesterfield called Ringwood Hall, and another one at a place called Horncastle in Lincolnshire called the Admiral Rodney Hotel. And I was responsible for the operation of both of those hotels for the next 2 years. In 1999, we decided to sell one of the properties, the one in Chesterfield, and really the other hotel in Lincolnshire, already had a manager there. So we felt that what I should do is come back to Scarborough, and I became general manager of Raven Hall Hotel out at Ravenscar. But then I was attracted to come and take on as general manager of the Royal Hotel in the centre of Scarborough, which was in the middle of a big refurbishment. So to come in and do that was very exciting. And I did that for 3 years. And I had a great deal of fun running the Royal Hotel, a nice property, great big place, and did a lot of good business there. All sorts of different things went on there. But then the thing that really started to captivate me came to Scarborough, and that was the Urban Renaissance activity. Now, this was something funded by Yorkshire Forward, who were the regional development agency, and their whole idea was about investing money into strategic projects in the town to completely turn the place round. The harbour took on a completely new lease of life and completely transformed itself, and we've now got some fantastic, thriving businesses down there, restaurants and pubs, and only a pub was bought by somebody new down there who's going to turn it into something spectacular in the next few months. And other industries around the town and other hotels have spent money and developed. As you know, you mentioned the Crown Spa earlier on. You know, we've seen a lot of money going invested into that place. The Palm Court Hotel, there's been a big investment going there. The Grand Hotel has been heavily invested in. And many of these businesses have all invested because the town has started to pick itself up by the bootstraps and make some very, very positive progress. So that's been a really interesting period over the last 10 years that we've seen develop. And the beauty is, it wasn't just us that recognised that this has taken place. We were judged by independent judges, and we've won several accolades. We won the Britain's best town, most enterprising town, I beg your pardon. We became then Europe's most enterprising place. We won the Academy of Urbanism Best Town Award in 2010, and we won another one, which I feel particularly pleased about, was the International Association of Public Participation. We won their Project of the Year award in 2010 as well. And that's a very, very international panel of judges looked at the project and the story of what we delivered over those intervening years and thought it was such a good project. We won their international prize. The people that won the prize the year before us was a massive organisation in Nova Scotia in Canada, and the organisation that won the prize after Scarborough won its prize was the American Association of Architects. So, you know, we were batting at a pretty high level there, and a lot of people in Scarborough don't necessarily see all of this and recognise how much we're perceived. You've got to go outside of Scarborough and talk about it in the world that I mix in to realise that actually we're very, very highly regarded by a lot of other people, not just throughout the rest of the UK, but throughout the world.
Now, from Urban Renaissance Manager, you then became the Scarborough Investment Manager, which is your position in the town now. Would you like to tell us more about what that involves?
Thanks very much. Yes, what that development was with the demise of the regional development agencies, with the new coalition government in 2010, they felt that there was no need for these quangos that they were at the time, these RDAs, so they were disbanded. So my role working with them and my job being funded by them was no longer going to take place. The council felt at the same time that they should combine the job of town centre manager with that of Renaissance manager, so the role of investment manager was offered. Now, investment manager is a whole range of different things here in Scarborough. It's not just about attracting inward investment, which is probably my primary role, but it's about maintaining the activity and the communication and the public engagement that we have with the town team and what's called the Renaissance activity still. So we continue to do that, and there's a great deal of groups still meet regularly in Scarborough. The Forum for Tourism still meet, and we promote tourism in the area. The Urban Space Group meet, and they discuss planning applications and the use of the town and various buildings and all manner of things that will help shape the appearance of the town. Another role I've got is that of town centre manager, and that's quite an interesting role. It's dealing with the retailers up and down the main street in the town and in other parts of Scarborough, and that again is an interesting role to take on because the high street's changing dramatically. One of my other responsibilities is looking after the Market Hall, which is a very interesting area because that's all about enterprise and small businesses, and it's those guys down there, guys and ladies. We've got some very, very lovely businesses down in the Market Hall, some of which are doing really well. And then, of course, we mustn't forget the Market Vaults. Where else to go for that unusual present? It's a fantastic place. Homemade things down there. We've got some brilliant artists and craftspeople down there. It's a really interesting little place, all, you know, being enterprising and entrepreneurial in how they do their work. So to say I never have a dull moment. It's great fun.
Now, in your spare time, you have connections with the Scarborough Yacht Club. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Certainly, thanks for asking. Yeah, since I left the hotel business, I've suddenly got, weekends you get them back. And I was a member of the Scarborough Yacht Club when I first came to Scarborough, but when the children were small, there was little opportunity really of running a hotel, having small children and going sailing. The three just didn't fit into the week. But now when I came away, I was in a position to start sailing again. So I did, and I have a share in a boat. And three of us own a pretty fast sports boat and have pretty good fun sailing that. And over the intervening years, over the last sort of 10 years, I worked my way up to being Commodore of the Yacht Club, and it's a lovely club. We've got some great members, and we have a very, very active racing program through the year and a pretty involved cruising program as well. We've about 350, 360 members in the club, and we have as I say, we have a racing program runs right the way throughout the year. So we race once a fortnight through the winter, and then through the summer, starting about Easter time till late October, we can be out between 2 and 3 times a week, and it's great. It's a great sailing ground in Scarborough. We race in the North and the South Bay. We have a race once a year. A high point of our year, as far as I'm concerned, is our North Sea race, where on it'll be this year, it'll be the 12th of July. Hopefully about 30 boats or so, 20 to 30 boats will set off and race across to Armuden on the western end of the North Sea Canal. And we race to there, and then we go up the North Sea Canal, maybe stop off in Amsterdam for a quick stay, but then end up in Hoorn, which is in the Markenmeer, and we have a big dinner in there, and in a very nice establishment there, and have a bit of a party there for a couple of days, and then we'll make our way back. So we're away for about a week. Some of the lads stay over there for a bit longer and take the opportunity of cruising around the Dutch canals and around their inland seas, but it's great fun because the North Sea is a fairly testing place. It's not for the faint-hearted, the North Sea. It's not particularly beautiful. There's no great rolling mountains like there are in the Irish Sea coming down to the North Sea. But it's quite challenging from the respect of the weather conditions, the sea conditions, and of course the navigation's quite good fun. And it's a pretty busy area. You know, you've got to cross some quite lots of amounts of shipping goes up, particularly when you get over toward the Dutch coast. It's like blooming Piccadilly Station at times getting in and out of there. So that's quite good fun as well. And all of this with a pretty vibrant social activity in the club. We've got a fairly busy cadet activity going on, or that's about to start getting kicked off this spring. And we get a lot of people inquiring if they're new to sailing, they want to come and have a go. We're actually establishing a program of getting new people out on the water as well to increase participation in the sport. We're part of we're very closely associated to the RYA, the Royal Yachting Association, who, if you like, are our sort of governing sports body, and we've quite a lot to do with them as well. So it's pretty busy time, really, is the yacht club. There's a lot going on there, and it's a great place. But it also happens to be probably the nicest bar in Scarborough, and there's a bit of an attraction there as well, as you can imagine. A lovely balcony overlooking the sea, very good beer, a cracking guy who looks after us all there called Eddie Mills, who looks after us very, very well, and a really good bunch of chaps and ladies. Particularly, it's a very mixed sport, is sailing, of course. A lot of women go sailing as well, so it's not the preserve of chaps. It's a very mixed game as well. So a very busy and vibrant organisation there too.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. This is Nick Taylor, Scarborough's investment manager.